It is Monday, April 15th, 2019, and this is a clip from ABC News special report about the fire at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, France, and you will note the attention paid to the spire by the commentator.
And there was scaffolding surrounding the base of this spire for really some time now. Some would suspect perhaps that might be where the fire started. Look at the size and scope of those flames. That's truly breathtaking. And of course, the question at this hour for so many people who are watching this unfold in Paris, awe by what they're witnessing. Reports of ash and pieces of the church actually falling from the sky there in Paris. I want to bring in an American who is in Paris, John Dickinson. He's a visiting professor, and John Dickinson is on the phone with us. John, you can see the fire from where you are?
Yes, I'm watching it from my balcony right now.
We can hear the emergency vehicles there behind you. That was one of the questions we had, John, which was how difficult is it to get, first of all, firefighters to the scene? And we were wondering, because so many of these are aerial shots or from fairly high up, it's hard to see the firefighting presence on the ground. What can you tell us about the emergency response?
So I'm looking at it from basically, I'm at the same level as the roof of Notre Dame, and it's just sickening to watch. This is one of the most beautiful buildings in the world, and for the last hour we've been watching the roof caving in, and we've been seeing the flames coming out. There's crowds on the sidewalks in front of my house, and people are just devastated watching this building burn. It's such an icon of the country and of Western civilization, and there's.
John, just stick with us here. I'm taken by the spire, which we have just seen. John, just pause for one moment, if you will. The spire of the Notre Dame Cathedral we have just witnessed collapsing amid those flames and the smoke pouring from the top of that iconic theater. That is that will take your breath away looking at that. Again, this 12th century cathedral, as we all know, famously, the Seine right beneath it. So many people, Americans included, have traveled from all over the world to see Notre Dame, and we know that in these holy days ahead, there were going to be even larger crowds with Easter approaching. And you can see this is the wider view of Paris, the billowing smoke, and for some time, as we were monitoring this before we came on the air, you could certainly see the smoke and then the flames. And now we know the flames fully engulf that spire. The spire has now come down to the top of the cathedral. There was hope early on that firefighting crews could get to that cathedral with enough time to save much of that, quite frankly, stunning architecture, the stained glass, but that spire right there, that will be the image, certainly bringing horror to the people who live there in France and who can appreciate that monument. But for those of us watching from all over the world, given the history and the beauty of the Notre Dame Cathedral, John Dickinson, my apologies.